Hey guys, I just wanted to update y'all. I went ahead and deleted the two teams that were in our league that are no longer in our league, technicians and just the tips. So we're down to 10 teams. When I did that, it actually wound up resetting our draft, which I think is stupid. It should have just removed the teams, but it didn't do that. So either way, I had to go back in and manually fix that. No big deal. It took just a couple of minutes. But anyway, I wanted to point out too, from last season, we did have some draft pick trades. So you will notice that I traded my seventh rounder along with Sammy Watkins to Packer Backer for his fifth rounder and Matt Ryan. And I'm not going to go into all the players that were involved in these, but just quick rundown. My seven to Packer Backer for his five. Josh traded his 15 to Packer Backer for his 10. Josh traded his 14 to the bench warmers for their 11, and Josh traded his 10 to the Dubach Dancing Bears for their 15. So basically, those were the trades. They are reflected in the draft order. I've went in and edited that on the draft board. So if you want to look at our draft order, everything's up to date and it's ready. That might help you figure out what your mock drafts are going to look like. Preseason's here. Hall of Fame game, Arizona and Dallas. So I'll be checking that out, as I'm sure most of y'all will be watching that. There's been a ton of injuries already in just training camps, so I can only imagine what's going to go down in the preseason. Just some quick key injuries that I noticed. Crockett Gilmore, he's done for the season, so that's it for him. Jamal Charles is dealing with a knee thing. I think Jamal Charles is dealing with an age thing, too, is probably part of the problem. I mean, the guy's been banged up for, the last 5 seasons? Matt could probably speak to that a little better than I could. He was listed as questionable on the injury report with a knee injury, but I would monitor that, especially if you're thinking, hey, I might use Jamal Charles' fantasy season. I would keep an eye on that one and maybe even rethink that philosophy. Will Fuller's out 2 to 3 months, broken collarbone. Andrew Luck is on the PUP list until the regular season with a shoulder injury. It doesn't seem like it's a serious thing. Doesn't seem like it's going to jeopardize his ability to perform this season. Ryan Matthews is questionable with a neck injury. Ryan Matthews is always questionable. That dude is a walking injury. So basically his future in football, from what I read on this neck injury, is based on his rehab. I think the dude's probably done. And Jordan Reed, this is an interesting one. He's listed as out, no timetable, with a toe injury. Now, from what I understand, Jordan Reed is going to go get evaluated by some doctor on this toe. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Probably thinking the same thing I was. It's a toe injury. Big deal. He'll heal it up. A couple of weeks, everything will be fine. If it's not, he'll just tape it up and go with it. Don't play with these foot and toe injuries. I mean, that's the kind of thing that pretty much screwed up Antonio Gates' career, was a foot injury. So, granted, could this thing be serious? Maybe. Could it not be? Who knows? But I would keep an eye on him, especially if you're thinking, hey, Jordan Reed, on most draft boards, the guy's ranked the 3rd tight end overall. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to get this guy. Maybe he'll be productive for me. I'm not a big Jordan Reed guy anyway. I never really thought he was that good. He's pretty much like all tight ends, boom or bust. There's 2 tight ends that you can pretty much count on every week, and that's Gronk and Kelsey. Rob Gronkowski when he's not hurt. Okay, so those guys you can count on. The rest of them, did they get a touchdown this week? That's pretty much the rule. If they didn't, they probably didn't perform very well for you. Something I would love to do, I would really like to go into more fantasy football advice and stuff like that, but right now that would be pretty stupid of me. We haven't even drafted yet, so I'm not going to show my cards on that very much. I might a little bit to some of y'all, but I would love to be able to give more advice, maybe even for people that aren't in the league that are watching this that would like to get my opinion on something. If you want to get my opinion on something and you're not in the league, text me or call me, and I'll talk to you about it all day. Guys in the league after draft, maybe, but obviously not. And I don't think you would tell me what you're planning on doing or who you think is going to be good or anything like that. And I wouldn't expect you to. Something that I've noticed is really interesting. The Dallas Cowboys, I mean, with all these suspensions that are coming down, guys that are getting in trouble left and right, I mean, these guys are acting like the early 90s Cowboys here with the trouble. But the problem is, these Cowboys haven't even won a Super Bowl to justify the bad behavior. I mean, dudes, get with it, man. I mean, this whole team might be suspended at the rate things are going. I mean, I think this team's been hit harder than any other team in the league, not just with injuries, but with suspensions. And then, of course, what is Ezekiel Elliott going to do next to probably wind up jeopardizing his NFL career? It's almost comical, the stuff the guy's doing. Something else I saw this week that I thought was comical. Michael Jordan, definitely not football related, but I thought it was worth talking about. Michael Jordan finally responded to this goofball, LeVar Ball, and I love the comment. Basically, he said, "I could beat him even if I was one-legged." I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, LeVar Ball's going. If you don't know the story, he went around saying, "I beat Michael Jordan 101. I'm undefeated 101. I've never lost 101." Just the general shenanigans that LeVar Ball tends to come out and say. The guy played a little bit of college ball, averaged like 1.8 points a game or something really crappy like that. I don't even think he ever started on his team, but yet, he could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1. I mean, maybe if Michael Jordan had a stroke and fell out on the court, it's funny. LeVar Ball could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1. I don't know that LeVar Ball could beat former NFL running back Lamont Jordan 1-on-1 in basketball. I mean, what has LeVar Ball done to prove that he could play basketball well besides playing a little bit of college ball? Nothing. But I think this guy poses a pretty strong question for me. I mean, everybody is real quick to dismiss this guy as just hype and just really running his mouth and trying to draw attention to himself. Has anybody actually considered the fact that LeVar Ball may be completely schizophrenic? I mean, literally, he may be schizophrenic, because that's the only explanation for some of the stuff this lunatic says on TV and social media. I'm pretty confident the guy has a psychological disorder. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. LeVar, see a psychiatrist. Get some help, dude. I think you need it. So I thought that was funny anyway, that Jordan finally responded to the guy. And y'all that know me know I do not have any affinity for Michael Jordan at all. I think Michael Jordan's an asshole. I think that he's a gambling addict. I think he has some significant problems in his life. He is known to have committed adultery on his wife. So I don't like Michael Jordan as a person, but come on. Do you really think that, does anybody on this planet, even LeVar Ball, really think that he could beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1? I don't believe it. Something that's coming up later this month, we've got the McGregor-Mayweather fight. I'm not excited about it. I don't care. I'm not going to pay for it. I will probably watch it on First Row Sports. But this is a comedy act, this whole thing. If it was an MMA fight, Floyd would get murdered, probably put in a coma. In a boxing match, guess what? I got some bad news for Conor McGregor. He's going to get knocked out, period. If he doesn't get knocked out, it's because he ran around the ring. I would probably consider paying for a boxing match between maybe one of the Diaz guys and Mayweather, because I think, from what I understand, the Diaz guys actually have some significant boxing training and can actually box. So that might be reasonably interesting to watch. And plus, if they were just getting their butts kicked by Mayweather, they'd probably just start flipping him off in the middle of the ring and stuff, to pull their glove off and be like, "Oh, Floyd, screw you." That might be somewhat comical for about 5 minutes, and then it would probably get old after a round or two. But so there's that. The fight I am looking forward to, Triple G and Canelo. That's going to be a real boxing match, and I'm super excited about that. So that'll be great. I'll be tuning into that one. I recommend, if the rest of you are boxing fans, or if you're not a boxing fan and you want to get into boxing, start with Canelo and Triple G. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm hoping Billy will back me up on that, because I'm pretty sure he feels the same way I do about that. I've been excited for that fight for a while now. I think it's the fight the boxing fans crave. It's the one they want. So there's that. That's pretty much all that's going on in the world of sports as far as I'm concerned, because I don't give a shit about baseball. So there's that. Baseball's going on. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I don't care. Baseball died for me in 2001 when Paul O'Neill retired. So there you go. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. I will see you guys around. I'm looking forward to the draft on the 27th at 3 p.m. That's a Sunday. Again, if you're in town or you're going to be in town, stop by the house. We're going to do a draft party-ish, if you want to call it that. Probably have some pizza or something like that, and we'll sit over here and do the draft and go from there. So take it easy, guys.